Hey everyone, Caffeine Man here, and today we're doing the re-review of Zoa Energy. It's rare that I do this kind of a video, but the question is, did they finally get it right? Is the third time a charm? Get ready for another mini Caffeine Man rant, as well as a taste test of these new Zoa flavors coming right up. Hello again everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. And in today's video, we're going over Zoa Energy. Like I said in the beginning, there is going to be a mini rant. Some of you have already heard the mini rant before, but some of you may not have if this is one of the first videos you're tuning into that I may have done because you're just curious about the Zoa drinks. So feel free to skip ahead to the taste test while I get right into my rant. And the first thing before the rant is, why am I doing the re-review? Well, I typically don't have time to do things like this. I am limited to doing 2 videos a week at this point, and only doing 2 videos a week, I only usually have a tendency to get to the newest releases. Even then, I typically fall behind. So in order to do a re-review, I usually have to bump something else newer that's come out. But a lot of people have been asking me about this. The new Zoa has been out for a while. They have been coming out with new flavors, and as they continue to come out with new flavors, it means the drink might be successful. But let's talk about why I haven't reviewed these new drinks yet, and that is because I was just very upset in general, because as you guys may know, Zoa originally came out 4 years ago, and they on their Instagram, they scrubbed any history of these old drinks, and it's because that they were a failure. And one of the biggest problems that I had with it was that everyone was super excited because The Rock was making a drink. If anybody was going to be able to make a drink right, they had millions of dollars to put into it, to do the market research, to get the ingredients that people wanted, to get you this healthy warrior energy drink, as they were referring to it as. And they have the money to hype it up, to get the people to buy it. Everyone was excited. The articles that they put together, because the articles were absolutely everywhere, they were definitely getting people hyped up for this drink that could become the newest best energy drink out there, because that's how most people promote their energy drinks. But when you have someone who's well known, you sometimes take their opinion a little bit more into consideration, especially since this guy is a workout guy. He should know how to make a drink, and the people that actually are part of the company are also workout enthusiasts. Unfortunately, I don't think any of them tasted the drinks because they scored relatively poorly, not as amazing as we were expecting them to score, and lo and behold, they got discontinued because they were a bad drink. But not only that, but then they decided, well, listen, we don't want to accept that we're a failure. We want to try and do it better again. So then they came out with Zoa Plus, which was much more pre-workout, which is much more of what we were expecting from the drink, to have these certain pre-workout ingredients, as opposed to this other drink, which was their original. And the thing is, when they're marketing this newest one that we have, you're going to see later on that they put something in there that says, you don't need sugar to enjoy Zoa Energy Drink. And it's like, well then, why did you put sugar in your first set of drinks? That's right, they actually had sugar in their original drinks. And if you're someone who works out, if you're someone hardcore into the workout regimen, which everyone in their company is, why in the world would you put sugar in your energy drink? And this is 4 years ago, so pre-workout had already been a thing. Bang had already come out more than 11 years ago from now. They would have been out for about 5 or 6 years in popularity then. But supplement companies were already coming out with pre-workout energy drinks that were all sugar-free. So why, as a healthy energy drink, a healthy warrior pre-workout drink, would you put sugar in your drinks? And yes, you had a sugar-free option, but you also had BCAAs in your drink. Once again, at this point, everyone knew that BCAAs in your drink were useless because you couldn't get an effective dosage of BCAAs in your drink. So why put it in there? They were just basically using the key buzzwords at the time to promote this drink because that's what they thought everybody wanted. But like I said, if you did all of your proper research with the millions of dollars that you have, you realize that original Zoa wasn't what we wanted. It got discontinued. We proved our point that's what we didn't want. And then you came out with Zoa Plus, which was a little bit better. It did a little bit better. They had better ingredients in there. They had some better flavors in there, but still wasn't really working out that well. So what did they go and do? Did they say, oh, maybe we should stop making energy drinks. Maybe we should stop telling people that these are the best energy drinks ever because I'm The Rock and I can tell everybody, you gotta drink this drink because I drink it and I say it's great. Spending millions and millions of dollars to promote a drink that you're calling the best drink, but you're gonna be losing credibility at this point. They discontinue Zoa Plus, but then they come out with another rendition of Zoa, completely scrubbing their old websites, completely trying to scrub their Instagram. But listen, you can't get rid of the articles that other people have written. You can't get rid of the exclusive interviews where you're saying, or the owner of your company, who's your ex-wife, is saying this is why this drink is different, and that's the original Zoa, saying that you're giving the people what they want when you didn't give the people what they want. This is your third time coming up with the drink. How do you expect someone like me to believe you at this point? And why are we going to listen to you? So that means that there are millions of other people that don't keep up on energy drinks, and all those other millions of people hear about this Zoa drink and they may not have had the first edition or the second edition to know that they weren't that great. They've just been hearing about this Zoa thing. They might hear about it today and be like, oh, Zoa Energy, this thing's been out for several years now. Let me try it. And it could actually be good. And that is why I'm actually doing the re-review. These drinks may actually be pretty good. So is the third time a charm, even though I am personally upset as an energy drink reviewer that The Rock pulled the wool over people's eyes and literally lied to them, not once, but twice. And people are still coming back a third time, but they just don't know like that they've been lied to because this is their first time trying the drink. Or a lot of these people may just be very forgiving people. They're like, well, we forgive him because now he gave us something good finally. And you know what? I can concede to that. I can say that if these drinks are good, maybe I can forgive The Rock. I mean, not for that movie. We can't forgive him for that movie. But we can forgive him for trying to promote an energy drink, just trying to be a businessman, getting in on the energy drink game, and showing that as a person, if he fails, he is willing to get back up and try again, which in some regards is a really strong point to influence others. When you fall down, you get back up, you don't give up. And as much as I would like that to be true, we all know that he's just doing it for the money grab, and this Zoa may be successful to get him that money grab and to make back all the money he probably lost on that first and second edition of Zoa. So much money must have been lost on that. But in the end, if he makes a good energy drink, I am most looking forward to the pineapple coconut because there aren't really that many pineapple coconuts anymore. There's really not many pina coladas. I am really waiting for Alani Nu to listen to my pleas of coming back with a trippy hippie, but I miss my pina colada drinks. I miss my 3D Gold, which I heard they might be developing. Christian Guzman, please listen. I know Congo brands used to listen to me and send me their drinks, but Christian Guzman, I don't know if Christian knows that I exist. I would hope that he does. I would hope that if he's trying to build his business to be a successful energy drink, you'd look up some energy drink reviews and see that it's not just me. A lot of my fans want that 3D Gold too. And if you don't know, I had a lot of energy drinks today, which is usually why my second video of the week is a bit longer and a bit derailed. So I am excited by the pineapple coconut if it's good. I was extremely sad by the first one that I drank from them. So once again, hoping that it's delicious. And even though this is a re-review, I only have a couple of the original flavors and a couple of the new flavors just to get you guys a mix to say, oh, this is how they improve the old. Let's check out their new because they are coming out with new drinks. Let's get into the taste test. So as I'm going to grab these cans, I do admit that I kind of came up with this idea hastily. No, I've had the idea for over a year now, just never really got to do it. So when I was in the store and I saw all the flavors, I said, all right, let me buy all these flavors again to do the re-review. I'm only noticing right now, I only have one of the cans that is being re-reviewed. The other ones are actually new flavors. Or in looking at the website, it looks like they discontinued the original. They discontinued the super berry. The white peach and the orange isn't in stores. It's only available online in their variety pack. So all I really have for the review is the pineapple coconut. But listen, it's still a good way to get to know some of the Zoa flavors. So the new ones to the review are going to be the green apple, the mango splash, and the strawberry watermelon, because these are all the ones that you can get in the store easily, because they're the ones I got in the store easily. And even though in these reviews, I like to start with the one I think I'm going to like the least and lead up to the one I'm going to like the most, I'm straying away from that because I do want to get you the re-review of the pineapple coconut, and it's because the one I'm most interested in, really. And here's the can. And I'm okay with the design on there. I sometimes talk about the designs. I usually talk about it a little bit. I definitely like it better than their first cans. Their first cans were 16-ounce cans that were black cans with a big logo on there. Then they came out with Zoa Plus. These are much more similar to the Zoa Plus cans. They are 12 ounces and they give you the information they need. They get you the big logo on there like a lot of the companies do. They give you the flavor. They have their own little specialty part of their logo. Is it a super great design? No. Is it a bad design? Not really. They're going with some straight on text. If anything, they went with a lighter color, so the white is hard to see on this color, but on the other cans, you'll see that the white is actually better on the darker colors that they have. And this 12-ounce can has 160 milligrams of natural caffeine from green coffee and green tea. A lot of people have been liking their natural caffeine, so in doing their market research, they're giving you guys what you want, as well as 0 sugar, 10 calories, only 2 carbs. A lot of energy drink companies like to give you at least 100, if not 200% of your B vitamins. Zoa doesn't want to spend that much money, so they really only giving you about 80% of your daily value of B6 and B12, 20% of your riboflavin, 2% your potassium. They are giving you 2% of your magnesium, which is a good ingredient to put in there. 100% of your vitamin C, so they are trying to help with that immune system to keep you healthy as well. 80% your pantothenic acid, 20% your folate. To get you some focus ingredients, they're giving you 2% of your daily value of choline, which is insignificant, so you sure save money on that, but they want to promote it as giving focus as well. So for your ingredient profile, not very solid, sort of pixie dusting some of the ingredients in there so that they can say they're giving you some focus ingredients. They do still have some of your BCAAs in there. They don't specifically mention it on the can, but it is in the ingredients. They have valine and isoleucine, but once again, dosages that don't really matter. All that really matters is the 160 milligrams of natural caffeine and how it tastes. Let's taste it out. And they are not going with a clear color. Are they going with artificial colors? No, they're using beta carotene for color, so they are learning not to use artificial colors. They are staying healthy. They are giving you a natural color. So that is definitely a plus as well. It's almost like they're learning from their mistakes, just like other people in life. You can make the same mistakes over and over and not go anywhere, or you can learn from your mistakes and improve from it, get better from it. Did they get better with pineapple coconut? Let's taste it out. Back in from the can. For carbonation, it seems like they lightened up the carbonation. I'm definitely a fan of the smoother carbonation. For your sweetness, you are getting a medium to high sweetness, closing in on high. And for your flavor profile, I would say that you're also getting, flavor profile. I would say you are getting medium to high, closing in on high. I think that they shied away from going too strong with the sweetness to get you to that high category, as well as the flavor profile to potentially give you a more light and refreshing flavor. How is that flavor though? I'm not overly impressed by it. I did go in with a negative mentality at first, push that to the side to get you guys a fair and honest review, trying to think positive because they have been releasing more flavors, so the drink's gotta be good. I'm not overly impressed with it. The coconut flavor is kind of light, and unfortunately that pineapple flavor is a little bit too light. So you're almost getting like a 40% light pineapple flavor and let's say like a 20% light coconut flavor, and that math only comes out to 60%. That other 40% tastes kind of like maybe a Zoa base flavor or just a little bit watered down, and I really feel like they just need to pump up one of those flavors more. They give you a little bit more pineapple flavor for the people that like pineapple, or a little bit more coconut for people that like coconut. In general, you want to go a little higher with the pineapple. When you're looking at the percentage of people, I think more people like pineapple than people that like coconut. So you really want to get like I'd say like a 70-30 is my preference. If I was making my own drink for the public, you might go 75-25, 80-20. But when you have pineapple in your name, people get excited because they want the pineapple. The coconut is always secondary. You're not going to have many people out there that just want a coconut energy drink, which is why there aren't any straight on coconut energy drinks. It is a complementary flavor. But is it better than the original? Let's take a look at what we rated all of the Zoas before, or at least the original lineup. And you can see there, it's got a 6.4. This is definitely better than a 6.4. Their original was a 7. Their orange was a 7.6, which orange is a pretty much straight on flavor. If you can't get that right, you got a problem, which they did. And the only ones that were decent were the tropical punch and white peach, which they still have in the lineup. But when it comes to this pineapple coconut, I'm going to give this a 7.8, which is a significant significantly higher score than 6.4, so they definitely improved on the flavor at 7.8, but I do still think that there are better drinks out there, so let's go ahead and show you those drinks that I think are better than this. And even though I'm saying 7.8 is a decent score, I mean, it's not a bad score. It's not like a 6 or anything like that. It's close to an 8, but I would not buy this because there's so many other flavors out there, and those are your other options for drinks. So if you're looking for something that's really, really light in pineapple and coconut, this drink might be for you, but for a flavor profile, I think it's really, really poor compared to the rest of the drinks out there. But hey, it's an improvement to what they had before. Next up, we're gonna go strawberry watermelon. Like I said, that logo is much easier to see on that background. I'm thinking I'm gonna like this one more than the green apple, but I wanna save the green apple because green apple tends to be a little bit more of a sour flavor. So we'll do that one next before getting to that mango one. What do they use for color on this one? They use vegetable juice color. Good job, Zoa. Good job. Hoping for the good things from this one. Since the first one was a little bit lighter in flavor, usually when you have strawberry and watermelon, strawberry can be a little bit light, watermelon can be a little bit light, unless you're going with candied flavors. Don't think they're gonna go with candied flavors, given the whole healthiness that they're trying to promote, but it still needs to be strong enough to be a good solid strawberry and watermelon flavor. I think they're gonna go light and refreshing, but why think about it when we can just go ahead, let's taste it out. Back in from the can. I always kind of do that, but really no need to. Carbonation is still light on this. The first one was medium. I really think that this is low to medium, and maybe it's something with the cans. I always say when things have a medium carbonation or lower, that maybe they got shook up going to the store, and I bought them directly from the store, so it's not like they were shipped someplace and then shipped to me, because UPS just shakes the things up because they know there's drinks in there. But yeah, definitely a lighter carbonation. Sweetness is also, I would say, a medium sweetness. They didn't go too sweet with it. And flavor profile is also a medium flavor profile. They're really not going that strong with it. I'm wondering if because of that pineapple coconut, I'm thinking back to that, maybe that's the feeling they're going with throughout the line. They're going more light, more refreshing. They're trying to go maybe more towards the way of Celsius, giving you something that's a little bit lighter, which isn't the way that I would go. It's not my preferred way of going, but if you're comparing these to Celsius, I kind of like them a little bit better because they're getting away from that sparkling water flavor of Celsius and still keeping the drinks relatively light. So if you're looking for light and natural, it's kind of the way they're going. It's kind of the way they went with their original line as well, but they went a little bit too natural, not giving you enough flavor. Seems like they did give you a little bit more flavor than the original one, which is why the pineapple coconut scored a little bit more. But now getting to the strawberry watermelon, which I said both of those flavors can be light flavors, they are going light with it and they are going kind of natural with it, but there's something in there that's throwing me off a little bit. And it's just not really that great overall. I'm getting this aftertaste that really isn't that good. And I'm not sure if it's because they didn't put enough, I think it's because they didn't put enough sweetness. I think that when you eat a strawberry, if it's not a sweet enough strawberry, but you're getting this little bit of like bitterness from like maybe not an exactly ripe strawberry, it's like they're giving you almost like straight on strawberry flavor, but you don't want your drinks to taste like you're eating the strawberry exactly because it doesn't taste the same. And sometimes in my watermelon reviews, I talk about the story of me going on a cruise and not being able to get the watermelon drink that they had. And basically what they would do is they would take watermelon, and this was early in the morning, you had to get there early, and they would just pulverize into it like almost like a slushy, just watermelon. So it was just like watermelon juice slushy. And I said, wow, that is going to be amazing. And I missed out on it. Like one time someone had taken like the last cup when I got there. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to wake up like 10 or 15 minutes earlier. And literally I woke up earlier just so I could get this watermelon drink. And when I got it, I was so excited and I drank it and I said, wow, you really don't want to drink your watermelon because it doesn't taste like when you're eating watermelon. So there's definitely a difference from when you eat something to when you drink something, and you have to compensate for that somehow. And the way you compensate for that is you give it a little bit more sweetness or a little bit more flavor to it. And they did not do that. But for me, it's giving me this bitter aftertaste and not really all that great. So boy, I was I was really hoping for better for Zoa. I really was. I like The Rock, but his drinks, and they're not for me. They could be for you. Everyone's got different taste buds. I always say that. And since these things are still on the market and still selling, and they're coming up with new flavors, they got to be doing well. But on the Caffeine Man rating chart, not a ton of strawberry watermelons out there, and they are kind of all over the list. Some have done it well, some have not. But this is not something that I would go for, and this is actually gonna get a 6.9 because that aftertaste on there is just not good. The flavor profile is not really that strong or solid, and it's that bitter flavor. I just don't want that bitter flavor in my drink. And if someone were to offer me this, I would smack them in the face. I would do a boom. I would do a rock smack. Yeah, that's what I would do to them. And who knows, maybe I would even do that to The Rock if I saw him. I'd be like, listen, you know what I think about your Zoa drinks? And he'd be like, what? And I'd be like, I thought they're, I gotta go. I don't like conflict. And if he was gonna body slam me, at least I'd say I was able to get body slammed by The Rock. That would be pretty good. Get it on camera, and then who knows, maybe my channel would actually take off. But for now, let's just move on to the next drink. We're gonna be going with the green apple. You can see the color, can's not much different. I don't even wanna pour it into a cup, but I kind of have to get the color from it. And obviously it's going to be a light color. It is similar to a light green color, not too much different in color than the pineapple, but basically when you're using natural colors, you are limited to the amount of colors that you can get from natural sources. Green apple, pretty straightforward flavor. I have confidence that this might be one of the better ones. That's why I saved it to the end. So many great green apples out there right now, or just apple drinks in general. Let's taste it out. Let's smell what The Rock is cooking. Shouldn't have done that. Not even going back from the can. All of them have the same profile. They're basically light in carbonation, not very sweet, not very strong in flavor. And I can say this now after I've had the 3 of them, that they all have this base Zoa Energy Drink flavor, which isn't that great of a flavor. The green apple definitely isn't strong enough in there. It definitely is probably a little bit stronger than the other 2 drinks, but still, when you got a green apple flavor, you really want something a little bit stronger. Some of the green apples have a little bit of tartness on the end to really get you that green appleness. This is sort of a watered down green apple flavor, and definitely not the style that I go for. Once again, if you are someone that goes the route of Celsius, there are going to be people that like these drinks because they are lighter. Caffeine Man rating chart goes by flavor alone as well as the aftertaste. I don't like that base Zoa Energy Drink flavor. I'm going to give this a 7.2. I don't think it is too bad. 7.2, not something that I like, but something I think you guys would like based on your taste buds being more light and refreshing, not super sweet, not super solid, not super punchy in the face, much more towards Celsius and healthier. I do have a healthier energy drink audience as well. You guys might love it. Me, 7.2. So many drinks above these. Next up, we got the Mango Splash, and this is their newest one, so I would potentially have high hopes for it. Mango is one of my top flavor profiles. There are several drinks that I like more than others. I always get excited by mango, and when it comes to peach mangoes, it's an extremely competitive category, but I definitely do want to see the color on it, even though it's not going to be much different, I'm sure. Given that bright orange on the can, curious how it looks. Hey, look at that. That's got to be beta carotene color. Let's take a look. Oh, it's color from vegetable juice and beta carotene. See? That's to get you that little bit lighter, to give you that little slightly darker color than that yellow color, but not as red as the strawberry watermelon. So at least they're putting time and effort into that. And of course, I always put the pictures up there when I'm drinking the drinks. I forgot to mention that it does have camu extract as well as 190 milligrams of branched chain amino acids. I mentioned the branched chain amino acids, but I didn't mention that it's 190 milligrams, which when you have those, you usually want like at least 3 grams of branched chain amino acids. So if you're not a pre-workout person and you see that, you're like, oh, it's got these BCAA things. I heard those are great. Let's taste it out. If it goes natural, yeah, this just, yeah. Definitely going more natural, which is what I was afraid of. If you guys like the natural drinks, you're probably going to like it. Not for me, though. Natural mango flavor with that splash of whatever that splash is. Caffeine Man rating chart. Solid 7.0. It is right at that point before I think maybe it's almost at that point where I'm like, does people like this? It's the newest flavor out there, and this is what they're giving you. Like I said, there is a Celsius crowd out there. If you're that crowd, you can try these drinks out. Definitely leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of these drinks. Do you think they're better? And I gotta say, in my personal opinion, let me move to the middle. Zoa Energy, in my opinion, is another failure, and that is only because, because of the first two drinks they came out with. They already tried twice. This is their third time, and they're really not that great. Even for anyone that likes the Celsius drinks and such, I really don't think that these are well enough to be making a huge difference in the market. And I would have thought that they would have changed it enough to get the majority of people that like energy drinks. But I don't really think they made many improvements at all. And even though they are coming out with new flavors, maybe they are being slightly more successful, but I don't think that they're going to be very competitive with the market. And it's just a matter of how long The Rock decides he wants to go on with this, because I don't really see these as being all that profitable. They're probably doing better than their first drinks. They're probably excited, like, oh wow, this is selling better than the Zoa did, and almost as good and just slightly better than the Zoa Plus sold. But when they look at their numbers and stuff, these drinks probably would have been discontinued by Monster standards or any other major energy drink company standard, because I can't see how they have this many flavors out there that people are actually buying. Because when you see the Caffeine Man rating chart, even though that's my opinion, I try to be a little unbiased. There are so many other energy drinks that not only taste better, but have a much better ingredient profile for you, much healthier drinks, more focus, more energy. And for someone who's done this 3 times to give you that crap makes me not even want to watch the next Rock movie. The Rock hasn't done that many good movies in the last few years, so he's on the downward spiral himself, so he's got to sell all these other products based on his name. But he just ends up playing himself in too many movies nowadays. I'd like to see if he's got some more acting style, give him something a little bit different. Or maybe even come up with a 4th rendition and be like, hey, this is for Caffeine Man. We're gonna make a good drink that he likes, and we'll see if that's successful. But I highly doubt it. It is time to end this video. So if you want to find out how horrible these drinks were to begin with compared to how they are now, you can check out that video right there. But if you want to actually see some good energy drinks, you can check out that playlist right there. I got my top 10, top 20 drinks there, and there is actually a bad list too of the worst energy drinks. I can't remember if Zoa made it or not. I don't think they did, but definitely check out that playlist. And until next time, have yourselves a great day or night.